Hey, believe it or not, you're back with the Damon and Steve Penny Stupid podcast. We have been missing in action. We've been gone for 1 month, and you probably want to know why. And Damon, I think you summed it up great just a second ago. Why have we been missing?
Hopefully you recorded the beginning, because what did I say a few minutes ago? Oh, I said we've been missing because we've been making money. I said a whole bunch of things.
Yeah. You also said those that can do.
Oh,
and those that can't teach.
Do. Those that can't put out a fucking course.
Yes, that's right.
I think we're proving that theory true, because as we're figuring this stuff out and making money, we're so busy, we haven't even had time to. And it's not even like we have good production value on Steve doesn't even edit these anymore. He just throws them up there.
Beginning and
we don't even have time for that. It's been a month, and we keep saying, "Oh, we got to do a podcast. We got to do an update. We got to do an update." And Steve's just like, shut up. I'm sourcing. Call me later." And then I'll call him later, and he's 3 hours ahead of me. And he's like, I'm eating dinner. It's too late. We'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Call him tomorrow. I'm sourcing. I'm sourcing. Call me later.
Well, and, for all of our beautiful, lovely viewers and listeners, the reality is that things have been going extremely well. And my choice is between really crushing it on Amazon, FBA, or taking up a day making a video. And I'm sorry, I love you all, but priorities.
Dude, Steve sent me a screenshot last week. Steve, what was it? It was the screenshot that said sale. This isn't profit, but this is just overall sales, right? Sales for the previous 30 days, and you took a snapshot of it and sent it to me, and it was how much money in the previous 30 days in sales?
$70,000.
$70,000. We're in March. We're at the second to last day of March. March is your 6th month, right? We started in October. We got this penny stupid idea. We got the penny stupid idea in like September, and then October we started it, right? October, November, December, January, February, March.
Yeah, I mean, let's go back a second, because this started just because we were testing side hustles. And you were going to do the driving things, and I was going to do the computer-based things. I had no information, no knowledge, had not taken a look at Amazon before, had not watched a video, didn't have any experience. The only experience that I had really with arbitrage was you telling me about some YouTube videos that you had seen, and we were laughing and joking about them. So during that 6-month period, I spent all that time just learning and studying and teaching myself and figuring it out. And there are some good people on YouTube that provide some good information that I have watched, but not one of them was a course. It's been the school of hard knocks, figuring this thing out, really just making good common sense business decisions that has led to success.
Yeah. And 6 months in, I thought we were going to do a tour of your new, what I don't want to call it a studio. It's not a studio.
No, it's the mail room.
The mail room. So his office is in his house. He's got 3 stories. His office is on the top floor. Well, what Steve did, because Steve got serious, he converted the third bay of his garage into a legitimate mail room with a parcel drop and everything, where, UPS can come in, open the big metal door, put the package in and shut it. And then the box tumbles inside. I mean, he got the epoxy floors. He pulled out the actual roll-up garage door.
Oh, yeah, I threw that away.
Had it framed in, double doors, coming in. Got, AC heat pump in there.
Yep.
Legitimate, nice, professional mailroom. Like, he's in it to win it. Of course, he made $35,000 some odd dollars this month. I mean, this just blows my mind. 6 months in from zero. Literally, I had a dream and a credit card, right? and it's turning into 30. One of the videos you did, I don't know, month 2 or month 3, we were getting really excited because you had a $3,000 profit.
Yeah, $2,900. Yeah.
You had a $3,000 profit. And I think that was when we were talking, and I was like, what do you predict for this year? And you said something like, well, I think I can make $500,000. And I just was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And now it's like, holy shit, I think he can.
Well,
I mean, you're pretty much right there at the half. I mean, I don't remember if you were talking profit or sales, but you're definitely going to, if you keep on this trajectory, even if you just stayed where you're at, you're going to blow by $500,000 in sales in the first 12 months for sure.
Yeah. And, the problem is that it's been so time consuming and successful that there's not a chance in hell that I'm going to be trying out any other side hustles anytime soon, because
it's not a side hustle anymore.
I got to feed this.
It's not a side hustle for Steve. It's more than you got. You going full time. Pam's going full time.
Yep.
You guys are, Amazon, FBA, eat, sleep.
Well, let's also flip this coin around, because your wife Kathy came out here and spent a couple days training or learning, and
pretty close to a month since she did that. Yeah,
she's been back for about a month. And she's been doing really well, too.
She is. And today I gained a new duty, take the kids to school in the morning. So I have mixed feelings. She's making money. She's crushing it. She's doing really well. But she's added a lot of what she used to do onto my plate. And I get it, and I want to be supportive, but at the same time, I liked my old life where she just took care of everything. And now we're having to share the duties of, household stuff. And I don't know. I got mixed feelings, Steve. I got to tell you.
And it probably eats into your driving ability, because you're probably not going to be able to do all those all-nighters when you got early kid duty.
Oh, it does, but keep in mind, I'm not making a career out of driving, right? I was getting excited about it, but I'm at the point where, so Kathy's been doing it for about a month, and she's much better at it than I am. And this is one of the main things I want to get across on this podcast is Amazon FBA is awesome, but it's not for everybody. It's a lot of freaking hard work, and you're going to fail a lot before you really start to get it. And most people are going to give up before they hit it. There's certain personalities it works really well for. My personality is not one of them. So basically here's where Kathy's at. Let me give you a quick recap. She went out to your place like in sometime February 20 something or whatever.
Okay.
So it's been about a month. So she's back, and our idea was, okay, here's a credit card. There's nothing on it. It's $3,500 limit. Use this credit card, and that's how we'll start. Like, let's say, just start like that because you started with a $20,000 credit card, and then that morphed into, max that out. I got a whole bunch of product. Here's another $20,000 credit card. So, I want people to really understand that it's not like you started this business with $500.
Oh, no.
And 6 months later, you're getting a check for $35,000. I mean,
no.
This is something that, how much you're making is going to be in direct proportion to how much you have available to buy inventory. That's all it is. The more inventory you can get in there that sells, that has a profit, the more is going to come back. So the key at the beginning is just growing your inventory. And we've talked about this in other podcasts. You can't be taking money out of the pot. You've got to just focus on growing it, not taking money to pay your rent or anything like that. So what we did was I gave her a $3,500 credit card. And she's actually gotten really good at what they call retail arbitrage. Even though you do a lot more, mostly online arbitrage.
Yeah.
So she's doing a kind of a mix, but it seems like most of the deals she's found has just, been in cosmetics and lotions and potions and all that stuff. Just, Walgreens is having a buy two, get one free. And she finds these things. Then she goes out and, buys up the inventory in the valley, much like we did with those printers that we sold.
Yeah. And it's great. That's a great approach.
It's a great approach at the beginning. It really helps her learn, but there's no way she's going to get to like a $70,000 month. There's physical limitations to, what stores are around you, how far you can drive, how much time that's going to take you. So it's a great way to learn actually and kind of figure that out. And she's really good at it, much better than I am. But she maxed out that credit card. I don't even think it took her 2 weeks, probably a week.
Yeah, but here's why it's such a good approach is because you're limiting the amount that you can spend early on, because trust me, you will learn some painful mistakes, and it's much better to do it at $50 than it is at $500.
Yeah. Well, So the problem was we got to that point real quick where she's like, I'm out of money. I'm dead in the water because the sales cycle with Amazon is going to take a while. It takes a while before you get money back. It's not like she blew through that 35. Blew through is not the right word. Blew through with good purchases. I mean,
invested.
Invested, yeah, because that's essentially what you're doing. Your inventory is your asset. You're trying to grow that asset. That inventory is your asset. That represents future earnings. So she maxed that out, and she's like, I don't know, what do I do now? And so we're like, here's another credit card. Keep going.
Yeah, what else we got?
So that plan, I know how to make the rules. I just don't know how to follow the rules. So she blew through that in another week or two and invested. She invested that credit card. And so now we've probably got about $6,000 in inventory, give or take, floating around out there, nowhere near the level of inventory that you have. Now, granted, we've only been at it a month now, but we've probably got $6,000, give or take, invested, into it. But again, that inventory is an asset. We have a ton of inventory, and she's been selling a lot. She averages, I would say, like right now, I think it's a kind of a slow day. She's about, last time I looked, it was about $50 in sales for the day. Most days, the last 2 weeks or so, she's been averaging about $200. And then she had a day 4 or 5 days ago. Before that, our previous best day was about $330 in sales. And a few days ago, she hit like 647, just like blew through it. And it was these sunblock lotions that she found at
great time of
Walgreens. Year. She's smart. She thinks like that. She's like, okay, it's April. It's going to be May. She's buying a whole bunch she's getting ungated for like sandal, shoes, different shoes, sandals. And she's selling a lot of aloe. Sunburn stuff, sunblock, all that kind of stuff. And she found this great deal. She ended up getting like 20 of these things. She sold them all in like 24 hours. It was just like ding, 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 ding. And she got these things about $9 and she sold them for 25. So
and Amazon had been on that listing, but there was a window. Yeah. So Kathy she took advantage of that window while they were out and didn't buy a month's worth of stock. And just went through it, and then she could evaluate, am I willing to risk a little bit more on this? That was smart.
Yeah, so she sold them all in like 24 hours. So we made about profit $10 a pop. And she had, I think, 19. So there, it's $190 in a day just on that one find. And then she went back and was like, okay, Amazon's still not on the listing. I sold them all out in one day. Everybody sold out. But then she did find some more at some Walgreens. Ordered them, boom, boom, boom. Wasn't as good of a deal. It wasn't a buy two, get one free, but it was 25% off. So it was still enough of a spread that we could still make money. We know they sell really good. So she just bought 12 more. In fact, she's got to go out today and grab those at 2 or 3 different Walgreens in the area. But she's doing pretty good. We are now finally at the point about a month in, because she just hit it running because she got that training from you, where we're finally starting to get money trickling back. So now what we're doing is, every time I get a check, like I just got a $200, I say check, but it's an electronic deposit. I got $200 today. I got $400 a couple of days ago. We're scheduled to get our first, what I would say, big check, if you don't count those initial printers that you told us about way in the beginning. We're scheduled right now for our next pay period to be a $1,700 check.
Oh, so that's really awesome.
It's really starting to come back. And all I'm doing is taking every single penny I get.
Yeah.
And whatever, I have a separate bank account we set up for just that. So the only money that goes into that account is the Amazon money. And then I take that and then I set auto pay up on those 2 credit cards that we used.
Yep.
So that account pays those. And then anything I get, just boom, throw it back on the credit card. So that's kind of the cycle. I feel like we're in like a paycheck to paycheck kind of a cycle with Amazon, where it's just because now she's like, when's the next money hitting? When's the next money hitting? And I'm like, oh, it just hit. You got $200. And then I see, bing, bing, because I get the alerts of, when you buy something on the card, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, $200 just hit the card. It's gone like that. Like, within an hour, that $200 is boom, right back into inventory, going right back to Amazon. But that's really what you have to do. You just have to not look at this as a way to make money now. Just look at it as, how do I grow my asset? My asset is the inventory. Amazon is a storefront, and you want to have as much good, sellable, profitable inventory in that storefront as you can. So the beginning is just all about, how do I grow that? Now, if you're lucky and you've got $50,000 that you can throw at this, you're going to be able to ramp up this business to generate income a lot faster than somebody that only has a couple $1,000s. But you just got to set the right expectations. If you're going to jump into this, don't start with $500 and think you're going to be making $10,000 a month in 6 months.
No,
right?
Because
Steve had to put a lot of money in and a lot of time, not a side hustle. He dove into this thing head first, full time. I tried to do it as a side hustle. I got frustrated a lot. And my biggest problem when I had that, I had that same credit card that I gave Kathy when I started before she got trained by you. Yeah. My biggest source of frustration was I couldn't find a good deal. It was just like, I was so stressed that I've got this $3,500 and I know I need to get this debt essentially working for me. I know I have to convert this money, this $3,500 into inventory. And I just couldn't do it. I would spend hours and hours on Source Mogul. And I would get to the point where I was making emotional buying decisions because I'm like, I just need something. I spent 4 hours today doing all these searches, and I need something. I need to get money going. Yeah. And you know what's funny? Most of the stuff that I did end up buying is still in our fucking store. It hasn't sold yet. And now Kathy looks at the stuff that I bought, with a month's experience and goes, why the hell did you buy this? I don't know. Thinking? She's like, do you know it sells 0.7 units a month? I'm like, well, I did, but the spread was good, and I needed to have something, So,
well, in the beginning,
it goes back to personality.
I was using Source Mogul, and in fact, I still use it occasionally, but I was getting really frustrated early on because I would spend like a whole day looking for a deal, and then inevitably, once I had invested all those hours, right before I said I'm done, I would find something really good, and that would encourage me to do it again the next day. But it gets easier as you go because you get approved and ungated for many more categories and brands, which opens things up.
That's the other thing we're finding too. As Kathy gets more inventory built up, she's more likely to get approved for brands. So it's that initial push, that getting started, that's really the hardest, right? And that's where a lot of people they might do it for a month, buy a couple things, can't sell it, and they quit. And so on one hand, that sucks. But on the other hand, it's actually really good for the Steves of the world and the Kathys of the world that will stick to it and say, you know what? I know this works. I've seen other people do it. I just got to get better. I got to study it. The ones that can stick through that initial stuff are going to be a lot more successful. And the fact that it is difficult, a lot of people are going to drop off. That's better for the people that stay on because there's a lot less competition because most people don't have what it takes to see it through. I mean,
when Kathy was here,
I'm
told her.
I'm an gratification guy. I'm like, this sucks. I'm out, man. Sucks.
When Kathy was here, I told her, be prepared. This is really going to suck. It's going to be frustrating. You're going to want to quit. It's irritating. Sometimes there's no common sense or logic to it. It may not even be fair, but you just got to get through that hurdle.
Yeah. Yeah. And then once you start seeing it, like when I look now and let me see, where's my Amazon? I got my thing blocking it. And when you go and you look at it, like my new job is check her checks, right? That's my favorite thing. How much money did my wife just make today? So I'm always looking at it. But when you go and look at it and it says, oh, you're scheduled to get, where is it? $1,800 next week. Then it's like, wow, this is actually working. I haven't seen my wife in a month, but hey, this is actually working. But it is nice.
Well, you can invest as much or as little time as you want. It does get to be a little bit, not addictive is the wrong word, but once you start to find
it's
deals.
The right word. It's the right word. She's addicted for sure because it's a challenge, right? How much money can I make? Can I find those deals? It really is addicting in a good way, I guess, right? But I mean, when you think about it, she's only been doing it a month. And we don't use Inventory Lab yet. Like Steve can look, my ROI is 133%. Ours is not that high because a lot of the products that we're buying, we do try
mine
to shoot
wasn't
for at least
at the start either.
Yeah, we try to shoot for at least 40 or 50%, but some of our products are over 100% return. So if I had to guesstimate, I'd say we probably average about 60 to 70% ROI on their purchases right now. We're always looking to push that. but we don't use Inventory Lab. We also don't use Tactical Arbitrage, which is another thing that you use, because you got to also keep in mind, you don't just want to jump in and then start throwing money at all these different tools and services. You want that to grow with you, because Steve spends a hell of a lot more money every month than we do on software and tools and different services. But when he's getting $70,000 back that month, spending, I don't know how much you spend on Tactical Arbitrage.
Well, altogether for the software is probably about $600 a month.
Yeah. And we spend Keepa's like $20 a month, and our Source Mogul is, I don't know, $70 a month or something like that. 90. I don't know. Yeah. But we spend probably for sure less than $200 on the different things. Now we can step it up to Tactical Arbitrage, which Steve said is very complicated, but it's a lot more, what's the right word, than Source Mogul is.
Well, it has a lot more capabilities. I would say that in the amount of money that I spent on Tactical Arbitrage, it probably took me about $1,600 of monthly fees until I finally think I've got a really good handle on it. Yeah. So there's a big learning curve, and you got to pay for it.
Yeah. So that wouldn't, and if you're on a tight budget, you don't want to throw it at something like that, and then you don't have any money for inventory, because that's where it's at. So you want to really, if you're on a tight budget, you want to start this as cheaply as possible. And like you said, that retail arbitrage is actually a good way. When I tried it remember our very first video was, can I flip the stuff at Walmart?
Yeah.
I fell on my face. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And we weren't even selling it on it. In fact, we didn't even start selling on Amazon. We started just trying to sell it on eBay, which totally sucked. And the few things that we did sell were only because you're like, well, I've got a seller account that I don't really use that much on Amazon.
Right.
Why don't you
throw it up there.
Stuff in? Yeah, let's send that stuff in, and we'll see if we can sell it on Amazon. And then we did, and then you start thinking, well, hey, we sold that stuff on Amazon. Maybe I can find some other stuff to sell on Amazon. And 6 months later, you made $35,000 profit.
Yeah,
it's like it's crazy. A side hustle went from side hustle to full-time income real fast.
Well, it is funny now that we just opened the mailroom officially yesterday, and we've got standing height workbenches around the room, and you got
to do a video of your mailroom. You got to do it.
Okay. Well, I'll probably stick it in here. I'll overlay it as I describe it. So
yeah, because he was going to do a video. I thought we were going to do this podcast in your mailroom.
Yeah, it's still a little echoey.
A little echoey. It's like very echoey because it's a garage with nothing in it. It's very echoey. But yeah, you got to do a little quick tour. Like this is not a side hustle. He's in it to win it at this point.
Yeah, I got all sorts of storage going. We have the professional box organization rack. We have a table where we unpack things and shrink wrap things if we need to. I've got that parcel delivery box that they just drop things in 24 hours a day. And I also have preferred drinks for my delivery drivers. One likes seltzer, one likes Dr. Pepper, one likes water, because you got to take care of your delivery drivers. So
is that on the outside or the inside?
Yeah, we're putting a cooler on the outside, stocked with all their favorite drinks.
Say, take one, it's free, thank you. Or
yeah, absolutely.
The gardener's like, oh, hey, me too.
Well, in this mailroom, we, instead of putting a wall right straight across where the garage door used to be, it's pushed back about 4 feet. And then I've got double doors there in case I ever need to bring pallets in. So I've got room for that. And also I can stack boxes outside for the delivery drivers to pick up, and you can't see them from the street. So I'm actually kind of proud of how it all worked out. The vision worked out, and it's going well. I have a separate computer with dual monitors downstairs. So I just walk in there. We have a heat pump that heats and cools the garage, and it is a total professional office space. It costs some money to put that together, but it's going to pay off.
Now, if that scares you, because you're just getting started, Kathy's just in our bedroom. So you don't need that to get started.
No, you don't.
I just sleep in boxes.
Well, our big, we
I
probably
just wake
wouldn't have
up
done.
and move the boxes out of the way.
We probably wouldn't have done that if we didn't. My office here in the house is on the second floor. So, the more boxes that were coming in with more inventory, and I was having to carry those through the house, up the stairs, it wears on you, when you're bringing in a couple 100 pounds a day of boxes. And so we just said, look, this is nuts. We got to get something down on the first floor. We have a house that has 3 garages, and we only have 1 car. So I had an extra garage to use.
Yeah.
So it worked out.
Before you make a liar out of me, because I said your office was on the 3rd floor, you come in on the 2nd floor. So he's got a basement level, and then upstairs is his office. So when I said your office is on the 3rd floor, it's the top of a 3-story house.
Yeah, I haven't I don't need to go for any workout or anything else, because carrying those boxes up and down those stairs was crazy.
Yeah, I like the idea of having a little mini fridge out there for the delivery drivers, because because eventually they're going to hate them, because it's just a lot of boxes that coming in and going out.
Yeah.
So, water or soda, it's good investment.
Yeah, you got to take care of your drivers. But I am now spending. Pam
not the one that can't drop it in the parcel box.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was the Amazon driver yesterday that at least got to the garage and looked at the parcel delivery door and then threw the package on the ground.
And took a photo of the
on the ground.
On the ground next to the door that basically has the big instructions. That says, put the package in here. Hey.
Yeah. Well, I think that anybody can get into Amazon FBA. However, here's my disclaimer. It's not for the faint-hearted, and it's not for the weak. It is not easy money. It is scary at times. It's frustrating. I had one complaint from a customer, and it was dragging down my account score. The customer complained that the product that he received was not what was described on the Amazon site, and it was counterfeit. And none of those things were true, but just I had to keep appealing that complaint, and it took me 15 times in order to get that thing cleared. So, if you just give up or you just say, this isn't worth it anymore, you've just got to do the grunt work. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Kathy got her first complaint last week, right? And the complaint was we were selling dog treats, and the complaint was these dog treats were too hard. My dog didn't like them. I want my money back. And it was just a complaint. And we had 1 star, right? And that was the only review we've ever had, because it's hard to get reviews, and we just started.
It is.
And now, instead, it used to say new seller, and then once that complaint happened, on any listing we had, it just showed, our name and 1 star on anything. Like you could be selling sunblock, but because some guy didn't like, and these were dental dog treats. They're supposed to be hard, by the way. You're supposed to get the plaque off the teeth. And my little 8-pound Maltese loves them. So whatever to you, bro. But now in any listing we had, it just showed 1 star. So that guy, because the treats were too hard for his liking, and we never got an opportunity to fix it. It just, boom, 1 star. It wasn't like he sent us an email, because if he did, we would have said, hey, no problem, here's a refund, right? Like that's how you want to handle that. You don't want one negative. So, and there was nothing we could do. We didn't make the dog treats, I mean, we're not the manufacturer. We had nothing to do with it. But you said, we told you about it. We're like, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, here's a tip. If the complaint is about the product and not about you as the seller, you can ask Amazon to remove it.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, wow. Because most negative reviews are usually going to be about the product. You don't have any control over that. You're not the manufacturer. No. All you have control over is customer service. So if you do have a buyer that has a problem, just refund their damn money. Just boom, refund their money. You don't want a complaint. It's not, giving them their $30 back or whatever it is a lot cheaper than getting a 1-star review on your entire store, because it won't be tied to that product. Your entire store will be like, this guy sucks. But so Kathy did what you said with the same day. Amazon's like, okay, it's gone.
Yep.
So, and then it was gone. Now, the funny thing was, though, that we figured out we couldn't, even though we sold those dog treats, it said purchase date was January something. Kathy hadn't even gone to North Carolina until February. So we know for 100% fact that was not our specific product that buyer bought.
Right.
We weren't selling anything in January. So,
well, don't forget the flip side of that was the 5-star comment I got yesterday where the guy said, the gloves were great. Yeah, I don't sell gloves.
Yeah. So,
but okay. All right.
Like you could get reviews that you got to look. They might not even be about you.
Right.
And we had another guy. Luckily, they didn't complain. They just sent us a message. The buyers can send, contact the seller, right?
Yeah.
And we had sent out some coffee, and the message said, "Hey, I got the coffee, but I wanted whole beans. I got ground coffee." And so we're like, "What?" So we went back and looked, and somehow when Kathy scanned it in, Amazon screwed up somehow the system, and it was actual ground coffee, but the listing came up as whole bean coffee. So we just Kathy didn't see it. I mean, it's an easy mistake. So it was an Amazon mistake. So they did in fact think they were ordering whole bean, but they got ground. It was like $17 or something.
Just refund it.
Yeah. So Kathy was like thinking, and she was really tired when she did this because I was like, we just got a refund and we don't want a bad review. So she just emailed them, and she's, lack of sleep and all that kind of stuff. And she just said, it's like, "Oh, I'm very sorry. Amazon made a mistake. Please feel free to return it for a full refund." And I saw that and I'm like, no, let's just don't make them return it. We can't resell it anyway. It's coffee. You get food. You can't, I'm like, let's go a step above. Let's just refund their money because, okay, say they do return it. Now Amazon has it again, and we either have to pay Amazon more money to get rid of it or ship it back to us, right? So it would just cost us more money to have them return it. It's easier just to let them keep it. I refunded the money right away, and I didn't get a 5-star review. I was hoping for one, but that's really the only thing that you have in your control is to be able to try to go above and beyond. Okay, there was a problem. Clearly it was our mistake, and you keep the ground coffee. And so I responded back, "Hey, my mistake again. Sorry for the confusion. Go ahead and keep the ground coffee, and we immediately refunded your money for your troubles. We're sorry about that," kind of thing.
Yeah.
And kept us from getting a negative review at least.
So I had another complaint about a product that I sold, and the person said, it was scrapbook supplies. And they said, "I received these pages of scrapbook supplies that had a certain appearance to them." And she goes, "And this listing was for stickers that had the exact same appearance to them." I screwed up and sent in the wrong product on the wrong listing. And so Amazon contacted me and said, "You can appeal this. Please explain what happened." And so my entire explanation was, "Yeah, I screwed up." Sometimes you just have to fall on the sword and admit when you've done something wrong, but that just gives you more drive to be really super focused on those details. And I won't do that again.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause those ratings are extreme. You get a couple of bad ratings out the gate, it can just kill you. And I mean, who's going to buy something from somebody that's a new seller and has 1-star rating? They're not going to investigate. "Oh, well, that was because this guy didn't like these hard dog treats and I'm buying lotion, so I'm sure they're fine." No, they're going to see, there's a lot of people they can buy stuff from. They're going to see 1 star and be like, "I ain't buying from that." And it kills your entire business. So those first couple months, let's talk about I know we're getting long, but let's talk about that health score real quick. Your account health score, because that's really important you got to keep your nose as clean as possible in the first, probably year. Because you can,
and that includes doing things like making sure that your shipments to Amazon are correct. They're as they're described. The right SKUs are in the right box. There are lots of things that can knock down your score, but everyone starts at a score of 200, and you can go down from there, or you can go up. And here's what I have found is the more stuff you sell, the faster your score rises. So in 6 months, my score has gone from 200 to today I'm at 240.
Yeah.
And once I get to 250, and I can maintain that for at least 180 days, 250 or more, then my account is protected from being immediately deactivated in the case of a problem. So that's got a lot of value to it.
Yeah, because we're still at 200. We've been at it for, Kathy's been at it for a month, but we set up my seller account probably about 2 months ago. But that first month was just you giving me those. Oh, I want to tell that printer story real quick. So we did end up selling, right? We sold 4 printers out of the 6 I originally bought. And anybody that's seen our old videos would know that part of the story. We sold 4. 2 of them got lost. Like Amazon just, like a fart in the wind, just lost them. Like they were on FC transfer for 45 days. Yeah. And I'm like, when are they going to make these available for sale? Because we sold the first 4. And these were like 150 profit per unit, right? It was a good deal. Right. And then one day it was just like, oh, you screwed up. You only sent us 4. You told us 6, but we only got 4. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so, I got pissed off and bullshit. Amazon did blah, blah, blah. And you and your way is like, okay, here's what you have to do. You just have to go here and just fill out this form. Like, these sons of bitches, that's like $800 they're costing me. I was pissed.
Calm down.
Like, how do you just lose 2 printers? So I followed the process, and within, I think it took about a week, maybe a week and a half. They obviously couldn't find them. So what do? They sent me the full price of the printers that I was asking on the listing.
Right. So you made your profit. Yeah.
They literally just was like, hey, sorry. And it was like $900 or what, because I think I had them, I don't know, 465, 475 or whatever. And so they obviously gave me what I would have gotten had I sold them at that price minus their fees. So it was just like one day I woke up and it was like, here's $900. We're sorry. And I was like, sweet. So I got all 6 of them technically sold. I think I made like $1,700. Total I made like $2,500, but after the cost, I ended up with like $1,000 profit, somewhere around there. But then some bastard returned one of them. Right? Then I'm all pissed about that. This brand new printer in the box. This bastard ruined it. Blah, 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 blah.
It says customer damaged.
Yeah. So I was going off, right? And Steve's like, calm down. That's all right. Down. Here's what you do. Just have Amazon send it back to you. Look at it. As long as it looks fine, it's just open and put back away. Just pack it back neatly. Put it back in and sell it as used, like new. Yeah. So I did that. It's still for sale. And I was still mad when I did it because I had to drop the price like $50. Yeah. And it still hasn't sold yet. So we're going to drop the price a little bit more. At this point, I just want to get it gone because, I spent like $200 on that printer. So I want to at least, that's money sitting there, right? You got to have, in this business, you want to have money in motion. You don't want to have money sitting there does nothing. All it does is potentially charge you interest on those credit cards that you used to get the inventory. So you got to get it moving. So if it's not selling, you just got to keep dropping it. Even if you have a product that you take a little bit of a loss on, but you can get it sold.
You get the money back.
Sometimes you got to do that. And it's like, got hit on that one, but next time I'm going to do better. So anyway, that one's still for sale. We figure we're going to keep dropping it. And if it gets too low, then we actually need one of those label printers for the business anyway. So if it gets too low, I'll just have Amazon send it back to us and then we'll just use it. But anyway, that's what happens if Amazon loses your stuff and they believe, and you can show that you actually purchased it and sent it in.
They'll pay,
keep all your records. Yeah, they just pay you for it, which I thought was like, you can lose all the shit you want, Amazon. Sweet.
Please lose my stuff.
That's easier. Just lose it. All right. Makes the sale. So yeah, the printers that you gave me, the very first product you gave me and had me driving all over the valley one day, worked out really well. I didn't.
Well, now you see why when I found those, I was like, get up. Get up.
Yeah, I woke up to these frantic text messages. Buy as many of these as you can right now. And I was like,
right now.
Okay. Out came the credit card, $1,500 in printers. Let's go.
Yeah, it worked out well.
So that's where we've been for a month.
Yeah. It feels like it's been a minute. I mean, honestly, it's just been such a whirlwind. When I look back at how far the both of us have come with this Amazon side hustle, because we shouldn't even talk about, driving and Lyft and anything else. This video is going too long.
Dude, I've got a million videos that I've been killing it. I've been not $35,000 killing it like Steve with the FBA, but I've been doing really well with all these different side hustles and driving. I just don't have time to edit the damn videos. I got hundreds of hours of footage that I promise on the videos that I guess it's going to hold me accountable. I will get these videos up. I got Amazon Flex I've been doing, Lyft, Uber, Eats, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's been going great. I will get those videos out.
Okay. Well, on that note, Damon, thank you so much. I'm glad we had a chance to jump back in here a month later and put this video up, and I've got to go back to sourcing.
I was going to say, are you going to go eat or go source?
No, I'm going to go back to my $300 new PC that I have and start sourcing.
I think you should make the office a separate video because this video went pretty long. Or the mail room.
We'll do it all. We'll do a mailroom tour as a separate video. Yeah,
but you took your whole life, went 360, and you ended up back in the mailroom, Steve. After all those successes in life, you finish in the mailroom.
Yeah, it worked out well. Yeah. All right, man. See ya.
Peace.
All right. Well, that was a little bit of a long, disjointed update, but we got it across.
Well, it's been a month, so
I know.
I mean,
feels like a year.
How are you going to get a month into 30 minutes?